That would make sense. We got some funny stuff to talk about. Not just some interesting stuff, but some funny stuff. Funny stuff. Oh, that's my voice. Okay, there's the chat. Jordan Feldman? Jordan Feldman? All right, one second. Hold up. Hold up, guys. Hold up. Okay. Vinny, what's going on? Yo, Gage. Colton Marr. When's Michigan next winter storm? When's Michigan's next? Could be right here. Right there. Wednesday morning. Guys, crazy stuff's going on. I have something really funny to talk about here. Let's let some people get in here. Do you guys think I should do this stream with the Vikings helmet on? What do you guys think? I might have to put it on. All right, give me a second. We're going to get started here literally in just a second, okay? I promise you. I have good news for some people, and I have bad news for others. We'll see. Give me 1 second. We'll see. I'll put on the Vikings helmet in a little bit, okay? I'll put on the Vikings helmet in a little bit. All right. You guys think I should just put it on now? Okay. I don't want to take the sticker off because it's signed. I can't take the sticker off because it's signed. Ah! It's tight. It's tight. JJ. Hopefully he plays better today so the value of this helmet stops dropping. JJ McCarthy. Skull. Okay. Now listen. I'm back. I have an unfortunate map to show some people out in a region that rhymes with Fid Benantic. I don't think that's the rhyme. Ooh. Tough. I'm sorry, guys. That's tough. That's tough. DC, Baltimore, Philly, New York City, Boston. That's tough. That's tough, guys. I'm sure though one of our AI models or our Spire model doesn't see this. I'm sure this is just the GFS. So let's take a look at the... Ooh. Ooh. Oh, look at that hole over the mid-Atlantic. Ooh, guys. That's tough. Ooh. Let's check out our euro, though. Let's check out our euro. Ooh, guys. Ooh. The 12Z? Ooh. That's tough, guys. That's tough. That's tough. You know what they say, though? You do not want to be in the predicted snow. In the projected snow. Guys, I can't take this off. This is a signed helmet. You don't want to be in the projected snow this far out anyways, because it's going to move, right? So don't freak out. Don't freak out. Okay? I do want to say, though, for people like me who are super lucky, our snowstorm Wednesday shifted south, and now they want to give... And now it wants to give Minneapolis, a nice heaping of snow. Maybe more. The shift is south for snow through Detroit and Milwaukee as well. Good New England snow. Hey, by the way, what's happening down here in the south? Can anyone tell me what's happening down here? Are we going to get more snow than projected? Let's take a look at the latest from our National Weather Service. Okay. Totals are going up here. Central Virginia. 2.5 inches. Dusting to 1 inch, maybe. Out here. Through the triangle. Okay, so you got Durham, Raleigh, and what's the other place that makes it a triangle again? Durham, Raleigh, and... Someone help me out here. It's hard to see through this. Durham, Raleigh, and... Is it Wake Forest? Oh, it is a triangle. Would you look at that? Oh. Isn't Chapel Hill in Durham? Durham, well, there you go. There's the triangle. So, not too bad. Here's the expected snow up here. I think our totals, if our Euro pulls this storm south as well, are going to increase in Minneapolis here. Also in Milwaukee. If the storm continues to trend south, we'll increase in Milwaukee. We'll also increase in Detroit if the storm continues to trend south Tuesday into Wednesday. I got an itch on my face. This is difficult. You want to see Maryland? Sure, let's do Maryland. Sure, let's do Maryland. Let's go to the GFS, okay? Let's go to the latest GFS, and let's go to winter snow, and let's just go out towards the end of the run, and let's look at how good Maryland's doing. Okay. Out towards the end of the run, let's take a look at Maryland. That's tough. Yeah, you could get a bit of snow in Chapel Hill. You could get a bit of snow in Chapel Hill, yeah. You could. Look at this. Look at this. I got itches on my face. I can't itch them. What do they do during a football game? Listen. The GFS wants to put almost 4 inches into Chapel Hill, Durham, and Raleigh. Don't think it's going to happen. I think you're going to get more of like an inch if you're lucky. Who knows, though? You're going to have a lot of moisture in that area. You're going to have a little bit of an issue with, I think, the cold air, but... What about Ohio? Here, let's push out. Guys, I might need to take this off. It's squeezing my head too hard. I can't think straight. All right, give me a second. Ow! Ugh. All right. All right. That's much more comfy. Yeah, but like I said, sometimes it's better to not see the snow, because every time you guys see snow a week out, you get disappointed. Maybe it's better you're not showing the snow right now. Let's take a look here. Let's compare some models, why don't we? And see who has the best odds of seeing snow here. Let's just look out 7 days first. Alrighty, let's look out 7 days. Here's 7 days. You would love to be in North Dakota, Minnesota, in Milwaukee, and most of Michigan, and inner New England. You'll love to be there. Appalachia could get some good snow. I think they're super exaggerating right here on this. But let's take a look at the H-triple-R. Let's take a look at the H-triple-R, guys. Wow. Is the National Weather Service seeing North Carolina correctly? Are they seeing this correctly? Because they're disagreeing with the H-triple-R a lot. Let's go take a look there. Shenandoah. I mean, the H-triple-R is a pretty decent snow model at this range, and it does like 1.5 to 2.5 inches into the research triangle. Wake Forest, Raleigh, Durham. Mooresville is going to be tough. Mooresville, you could maybe get a dusting. I think you might be too far south. You could get a little bit. You could get definitely flakes falling in Mooresville. Accumulation is my question for Mooresville. I mean, because if we look down here, you know, we got Charlotte right here. Mooresville's like right here. Yeah, you could. I mean, hey, H-triple-R thinks 1 inch is possible in Mooresville, if you believe it. That'd be nice. Kentucky. Over the next 60 hours, could you guys get a little dusting to 1 inch across the state? Just maybe. National Weather Service is playing this. Let's look at the high ends. Oh, man. See, here's the high ends. The high ends gives a dusting into Charlotte as well. Here's the high ends. What you could see. I mean, we'll look at the high ends. We'll look at the high end result here. The high end results here. That's what I meant to say, guys. Let me let this load in so I could show you the totals on the high end results. All right, let me let this load in for a second. Our euro. Okay. Oh my god. Our euro model has been loading in so late lately. It's so frustrating. Let me see if it's in on pivotal weather yet. If it's coming in yet. Nope. What about our Euro AI? Nope, not coming in yet. Okay, well, I really want to see what our Euro says because we have some shifting storms and some shifting snow totals with the GFS, and if the Euro sees the same thing, lock it in, baby. Where am I? I'm in Minneapolis. We're doing pretty good with snow. Oh, I brought this up the other day. Guys. Let me show you something here. I like showing fun maps. Here is our current snow departures. You guys know what snow departures means. I know you do. Don't pretend like you don't. Here's our current snowfall departures. So, a couple things stand out. Nothing really surprising here to me. Mid-Atlantic has been on the struggle bus for about 5 years now, but I don't even know why it's this red. The Mid-Atlantic, even on a normal year or in the 100-year average, doesn't see much snow until late December into January. So it's not that weird that the Mid-Atlantic and coastal New England haven't seen snow yet. It's really not that weird. Doesn't mean you're not going to have a bad snow year. I think you guys are going to have a great snow year, or at least a good snow year. I do. Freaking Iowa and Illinois out here just hogging all the snow. Indiana's doing pretty good as well. But running way above averages. Guys, if you're in the red, you're running well below average. If you're in the purples, pinks, the blues, you're running well above average of snowfall up to this date, December 7th, for your 100-year average. Or might be doing a 30 or 60-year average. I don't know. Yeah. Well, no, Emmanuel, it's been shooting back and forth. Sometimes I'll see the Euro start to load at like 11:05 my time. It was doing that a couple weeks ago. Before the time switch. I mean, after the time switch. Yesterday, it was way behind. Yesterday, what? The Euro didn't load till... Yesterday, the Euro didn't load till after 12 o'clock my time. It was over an hour behind. Maybe it was even later than that. It was very late. It was very late yesterday. We'll see. We'll see if it starts to load here in 10 minutes. Yeah. The red means you are running well below your snow averages, up to your normal snow averages up to December 7th. That means typically by December 7th, you have more snow on the ground than you have right now. Now, like out here in the mid-Atlantic, New England coast, you typically don't have much snow on the ground right now, so I don't know why that's so red, but I mean, you typically have like an inch maybe. That's fallen already. Yeah. No, I think Bucks County's going to have a good year. That's where I lived last year. Kind of sucky year last year, but yeah. And then if you want to look at like the current where snow has actually fallen up to this point, we can go here and we can say season to date snowfall. This is how much, this is our season to date snowfall. This is the snowfall that has fallen up through December 5th. So this isn't counting the big snow that just moved through here. So there's bigger snow totals in this area. But this is the snow that's fallen up to date so far this season. So some pretty good totals for some people. Some, you know, anyone living in this hole, I feel bad for. Northwestern Minnesota is hilarious that they've gotten like no snow. Northwestern Missouri, how are you in a snow hole like that? That's tough. And then this region right here, just to the west of Cleveland, what's going on with you guys? You got good snow to your west and good snow to your east. Portions of central Minnesota and a snow hole right there. Oh, yeah, and you have more snow. Yeah. And Iowa's probably going to get more snow. The reason Iowa's hogging all of Minnesota snow is because Iowa's been consistently 5 to 10 degrees warmer than Minnesota. So you're getting more lift. You're getting more snow production in your atmosphere. We're too cold in Minnesota. The problem with that, Iowa, is there's going to be a little bit of a warm-up coming here, and it's not going to get warm enough up in Minneapolis to melt our snow, but you're going to have a little bit of snow melt across the state of Iowa. I don't think it's not going to get warm enough, and it's not going to be warm enough long enough to erase your snow. You have too much snow, and you have more coming. It'll deplete a tiny little bit of it, though. Tiny little bit, but you guys are pretty secure for the season, I think. You guys have a ton of snow. It's not going to melt it all away. I saw your Discord Mid-Atlantic post. Baltimore here? Yeah, I know. That's like 5 different models right now. Keep it coming. These kids need a white Christmas. I think you guys have a pretty good chance of that. Yeah, at this point. Yeah. I don't think our Euro's starting to load yet. I really want to see it load. But, okay, there. Our Euro's starting to load in now. 11:23. My time. All right. We'll wait a little bit. Let this bad boy load in. Definitely don't want to get off until we start to see... That's the 0-60. Until we start to see a little bit of progression in it. Yeah, let me just look at the new GFS here. Let me actually, I'll get to all your questions here. Let me do what I normally do and quickly run through this. Tell you guys what's coming, what you can expect, and I'll get to all your questions. Snow moving out into the New England region. You guys getting some lake effect snow right now. Hey, on the high end down here, Raleigh, Durham, up to Rocky Mount, you guys could see 3 to 4 inches of snow. I think it's going to be a little bit less. It could be as low as a dusting. On the high end, though, if you get a little bit lucky and the mid layer stays a little bit cooler than some of these models are projecting it to be, yeah, you could have a good snow day. You could have a really, really good snow day. 1 second, let me fix this on my map so I know what I'm looking at here, guys. Okay. Mountains up here. I mean, where's Boone? There's Blowing Rock. Boone's up here. There you go. Boone on the high end, 10 inches of snow. Charlotte on the high end, dusting. Mooresville maybe a ½ inch. Lynchburg maybe 6 inches. This is the high end, guys. Don't expect. I'm just showing you what's possible if conditions play out correctly. Richmond 3 inches. Charlottesville 3 inches. You know, big widespread snow out here. If you end up hitting the high end, Inner New England doing pretty good as well. Michigan on the high end. You're looking pretty decent. Detroit on the high end over the next. This is over the next 72 hours. Detroit on the high end, maybe 3 inches. South Bend, maybe another 3. Gary, maybe another 2. Minneapolis, it's showing about 4 inches on the high end. After this Euro updates, we might start to see about 8 inches, 9 inches on the high end for Minneapolis. If the Euro agrees that this storm is shifting south, Grand Forks down to Fargo, 6 to 9 inches. On the high end, Marquette, 11 inches on the high end. Maybe a little bit of snow up here. Chicago on the high end, 3 inches over the next 72 hours. So big snow. On the high end, the mountains up here could get maybe like 90 inches of snow over the next 72 hours. So, but expected amounts aren't going to make you guys as excited. Expected amounts could really, really mess with North Carolina snow. Although the snow's been trending up. So I don't expect just a dusting in northern North Carolina. I think you'll get a little bit more than just a dusting. If Minneapolis has a really bad day, I think a really bad day for Minneapolis Metro, Tuesday, afternoon to evening, I think a really bad day still looks like a few inches. B, what's going on? Appreciate you, Stephanie. But, okay, yes, last thing before I get into questions. Let's take a look at the latest temperatures. This is wild. You guys ready to shatter some temperature records? I know I am. Oh my gosh, it's still showing it. You guys know how below average this color is right here? Dark purple into this whitish pink. Do you guys know how below average that is? Don't look at the bottom. Don't look at the bottom. Don't look. Don't look. Don't cheat. Don't cheat. Don't cheat. Don't cheat. Don't cheat. You guys know how cold that is? You guys know how cold this is? Yeah, more like 20 to 40. More like 20 to 40. Sprinkler guy, but yeah. Yeah, 20 to 40 degrees below average. Because once you get into this right here, once you get into the lightest pink, you're talking about 35 plus below average. Boom! There it is. There it is for you guys. I'm going out. I'm going out for my wife's birthday right here in Minneapolis. Our feels like low is supposed to be like negative 32 degrees the night we're going out for her birthday. So I think I'm going to tell her we're going to cancel it. We're going to cancel her birthday. Yeah, Omaha too. Omaha too could easily get 30 degrees below. Omaha's going to see negatives like wild next weekend. And these negatives are going to kind of stall out a little bit too, or these very, very cold temperatures are going to stall in the Ohio Valley. But we're not done. We're not done. Boom! There's another one, guys. Boom! Surprise! There's more. Boom! There's another one. And then, guys, we warm up. We're back to warm temperature. Just kidding. There's another one. There's another one right there. 40 degrees below average for everyone. And then we're done, guys. Just kidding. Just kidding. There's another one right before Christmas. There's another one, guys. This feels so validating to me. I used all these big words in October and November about just like record-breaking December cold out east. And I remember thinking in my head that like it totally could not verify. There's a chance I'm completely wrong and I'm going to look really stupid. I don't feel so stupid now. I feel really smart even though I didn't actually know if this was going to happen. I just thought there was like above a 50% chance this would happen. Oh, yes. Yes, guys. Here's your 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, by the way. Here it is. Here's your 8 to 14 day temperature outlook. Earliest SSWE, sudden stratospheric warming event in recorded history since the satellite era, happens at the end of November. If you got a stretched out negative EPO, negative WPO, ridging the entire central and western Pacific, you're going to get downstream cold 20 out of 10 times. Every single time. 1,000% of the time. To the east. Lock it in every time. And I don't buy this. I don't buy this, chat. I don't buy this. It's still good for me. I'm in Minneapolis. I like cold air. I don't buy this, though. Let's do this. And let's keep it warm out here a little bit longer. And let's keep the cold air pumping out east. Maybe even for the plains, actually. Maybe even for the plains. I don't buy it. You guys want to know why I don't buy it? Here's why. Well, first off, we're going to have another stratospheric polar vortex break, I think. Really quickly, this is important. Northern hemisphere. We've got a low pressure system up here. We've got a nice little circle. You see this? You see our isobars circling? What happens if that stretches? And then, what's this? Center low. Center low. That's a split polar vortex. If anything, this stretches. And then you have super high heights across the Arctic. That means, let me think for a second. End of the first week of January into the second week of January. January 20th is on average our coldest day of the year in the Northern Hemisphere. This would be the week before that. We could have this dump of 40 degree below average air pushing in again. We could get one of those negative 50 degree days in the Northern Plains again. Record like yearly record breaking, not a day record, a year record, an all-time record. So that's not going to affect us. So the end of December, this is going to affect us at the end of December, right here. This is December 14th. Our stratospheric polar vortex is an important downrange, but our tropospheric polar vortex is important in the short range. And where's our this is a mess. This is a mess. Look at the ridging out west. This is a negative WPO. Ridging over the Western Pacific. This is a negative EPO. It's kind of falling into a positive EPO, but negative EPO. Look at that right there. Huge stretched negative WPO, negative EPO out here. This is downstream directly into the east. We're looking at December 18th right now. I don't know that this flow stops. I don't know that this push of cold air stops until January out east. These aren't extremes. These aren't extremes, Eli. Minneapolis has broken since December 1st. Well, no, since November 15th, I think seven cold temperature records. How many records have we broken this season? We've been breaking them all over the East. If negative 30 to 40 degrees widespread across the East for a stretch of 2 weeks on and off through December isn't extreme, what is? What do you want? Negative 60 degrees below average? It's not going to happen on planet Earth. Not for an extended period of time. You're being unrealistic. It is extremes. It just is. It just is. I don't know what to tell you. I honestly don't know what to tell you. We're really not going to argue with people who are being silly. All right. It is not normal for a month straight to see widespread 20 to 40 degrees, 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 and these are all below average, 24 degrees below average, by the way. Now, this might not verify all the way through, of course, but we've already been well below average out east, and we're going to get at least the next week of this verifying. We can predict, we can forecast temperatures out much farther than you can forecast local precipitation out. You can forecast troughs and ridges because, like I said, they're bigger climate patterns. Let's take a look at something here. One second. Let's take a look at our departures from normal temperatures. Let's take a look. So, actually, this is not correct. Well, we've had some moisture down here. This could be correct here. That could be correct there. I want to take a look at this, and then I want to take a look at this at the end of December. Oh, that's normal precipitation. There you go. Departure from normal temperatures. Okay. Okay, there you go. So, who was the one who said that this is not extremes? Who said that? Let me go back up. Chat, can you help me out? He's probably not in chat anymore. Yeah, Eli. Here's our departure from normal temperatures since meteorological winter started. Oh, sorry, you can't see. Let me make this a little bit more visible for you. There you go. Thank you, hide and watch. Eli, so this isn't an extreme. You would consider this a what? A normal? What would you consider it? What would you consider this, guys? By the way, these pinks here, if you look down here, are off the chart. They're off the chart. They don't even have a number for them. Eli would not consider that an extreme. So I don't know what his definition of extreme is. Right? I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? We have cold that is off the charts since day one of meteorological winter, and it's supposed to get even more below average. Not colder. You always get colder as you push through December. It's supposed to get even more below average, meaning we're not gonna have colors. We're gonna have pockets of white in here. Yeah, Eli said that. I don't know. I don't know what. We all have different definitions of extreme. But anyways, let me look at the last 14 days. Not as bad. You can see we had a flip, but this is crazy. This whole area. Below average. I think when we do 14 days, I think when we look at the month of December, it's going to be... some of these areas are either going to break the record for the coldest recorded December in history, or I think a lot of these areas are going to be top five. Top five. So, anyways, all right. I want to answer some questions. The Euro's loading too. I'm gonna do speed round and answer questions. The Euro's loading too. Let me just check this real quick and see if it shifted our storm here like the GFS did. The Euro still brings this storm. I feel like a little bit north. Let me check this out compared to the 06Z. 06Z. It's hard to tell. Anyways, I'm going to get to answering questions. Oh, sorry, you guys can't see that. Any snow possible in northern Georgia? Not impossible in December. Again, the trend is very cold out east, so you can see right there. Hi. Why are you crying? Daddy's on stream. Do you want to say hi? You sound like a dog. Say hi, stream. Stop picking your nose. Say hi, stream. He forgets how to talk when he's on camera. Say hi, stream.
Say hi, stream.
Okay. I'll be out there in a little bit, okay? Say hi, stream. All right, close the door. B said hi. December. Freeze your nuts off. Why does New Jersey have no snow on our models? I know. Well, it's not the cold air that's your issue. We've confirmed that. Sometimes you get too cold, you get too dry. Cold air always comes with dry air. You need a little bit of warmth out ahead of it. How much snow for Iowa on Thursday's snowstorm? I don't really see a snowstorm on Thursday. I mean, I guess the European actually sees this more of a snowstorm on Thursday. The Euro sees... right now, Thursday doesn't look like much on any of the models. Not compared to what you've been getting. Maybe a few inches. But, I mean, you guys have so much snow there. You're just going to keep piling on for a little bit. We'll see. Little brief warm-up, maybe. Tiny little warm-up here, but you're not going to get much snow melt from this. You get a little snow melt Tuesday night into Wednesday, but you have such a snowpack there. I think you guys will be just fine. Yeah, he's blocked. I got to make fun of him and then block him. He's blocked, guys. You get people in streams like that all the time. You get the people who come in and say, this will never happen. You get people who come in and say, you don't know what's going to happen. You get people who come in and say, you're lying, like whatever. Like all I can do is show you guys forecasts and explain what we're looking at. Snowing from Lake Effect in Buffalo Stadium, showing on Fox pregame show. Oh, nice. Let's take a look here. Oh, yeah, this is actually a really, really nice flow for Buffalo right now. Look at this flow for Buffalo. Perfectly northwestern. Or, sorry, southwesterly flow. It's a little bit easterly, but look at this. Right into Buffalo. Because the stadium's just south of the city, right? Somewhere in here. Let's go to a local radar here. That's a heavy band. This is a heavy band of snow. Whoa, are we getting... No, this is a radar glitch. Okay, I was going to say, are we getting thunder snow? That's a heavy band of snow right there. North Carolina is interesting because, again, you know what? Let's see what the European sees. The new European's loading in. Let's see what it sees for you guys. Oh, wow. The Euro did shift this storm south. This is... The Euro wants to put some snow into Chicago and Detroit and Milwaukee with this now. Okay, that's interesting. But let's see what the Euro sees for the Carolinas. See, the Euro keeps the Carolinas a little bit. Takes the snow out of the Carolinas a little bit, but I'll take a look. I'll take a look at down there for you guys. Yeah. The HRRR is much more generous for snow, by the way, down here. It pushes snow a little, even gives a little bit of snow down into Charlotte. It's a weird storm. This is a weird storm to predict, but Research Triangle gets a little snow. I don't really... It's weird. The weather... National Weather Service really isn't buying this much snow here. But I think the low is going to have a good... I think we're going to get good snow production with the low. What's... Okay, let me do this real quick. I want to take a look at this. Give me a second. Let's see what this did here. Let's go to the HRRR because this is interesting. Here's the 12Z of the HRRR. What was the... Oh, no, you know what it was? It was the GFS that puts a ton of snow down there. This is the 12Z. So I wouldn't even say the National Weather Service is using the 12Z, though, because the National Weather Service isn't putting any snow into southern Maryland. The GFS is being obnoxious with this storm, you can see there. It's trying to get snow out towards the Outer Banks, down into Charlotte. Let me see here. I mean, the best thing we can do right now is probably look at the National Weather Service or HRRR 3K for this. But I think we want to wait till our 18Z loads in on the HRRR. What are our temperatures here? That's what I want to know. You know what? What are I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. What are our temperatures? What does the HRRR think our temperatures are in the 12Z? Let's look at our mesoscale analysis. Surface observations. So it's still pretty cold down here. And let me go back here and take... Sorry, give me a second, guys. And let me take a look at what the 16Z sees it at. 36. This would be at... Okay. What time is it there? What time is it on the East Coast? 36. This is tough to tell. 36, 32, 32, 37, 36, 39, 32. We're running like a degree. We're running like a degree ahead right now on the mesoscale analysis, which means the HRRR might be correct. Because whichever model has the more correct starting parameters here with temperatures is going to be the more accurate snow model. So the HRRR 16Z is pretty accurate. This might be what we see, something like this. Sorry. Hello? Thank you. Let's look at the national blend last, then I'll get to more questions. Let's take a look at the national blend, and I'll get to more questions. Yeah, I could see that happening. It's cold, but it's not cold enough. It's cold, but it might not be cold enough in Charlotte. I think Charlotte's going to get some snow this year, though. Miss Chan, Rod, MJ, Kathy, Rachel Sprinkler Guy, PB, Lil Tate, Nancy, I appreciate you guys. All right, let's get back to questions. Our latest European still loading in. And here's the total snow from the latest European moving forward. We'll get back to the GFS for now. Charleston, West Virginia snow. In the short term or in the long term? In the short term, you can get a couple inches. A lot of the snow for West Virginia is in the high elevations. Moving forward, though. What's Charleston's elevation? I mean, it's closer down to the surface, right? Or closer down to sea level. So, a few inches here and there over the next week. 7 to 10 days, but I think it's going to be tough to get more than that. You can tell a lot of the snow is just picking the higher elevations here. Northern West Virginia, same thing. A lot of the snow is aiming for the higher elevations. We're going to have a chance here. We're going to have a chance here because of how cold this air is going to get low elevation snow in the southeast. Low elevation snow into Charlotte, into West Virginia. Even right here. Couple shots for low elevation snow in West Virginia ahead just because of how cold it's going to get. And I've talked about this before, but if we do see this, which we're going to see a version of this major amplification and dip in our polar jet, you're going to be well cold enough for snow way down here in the south. The question is are you just going to be choked out with dry air, which, you know, maybe, guys. That's your 6 to 10 day precipitation forecast, 8 to 14 day precipitation forecast. That cold air is bringing with it extremely dry air. You can get here's our issue. We have no subpolar tropical. We have no subtropical jet right now. We have no subtropical jet. None. Zero. Let's go to the satellite. Do you see this? Where's our subtropical jet? Let's put this into motion. You've got this. This is a cold front, though. This is our cold front. This isn't our jet. Put it in the motion here. Can we let's put here. Can we play this, please? Or are we not going to because we're on here's what I'll do. I'll show you on Tropical Tidbits. I think our subtropical jet's going to activate. I think it's going to activate in January. Let's go and let's take a look here. I want to show you guys something. I think the South might have a really good time in January. Here's why. Let's go to regions. How do I want to show this? Let's just go to like North America. CONUS, that's fine. Okay. All right, and then we'll go into upper air dynamics. 500 millibar. No, we don't want the 500 millibar. Why can't I find what I'm looking for? Well, we could use this. That's fine. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm trying to show you guys the activation of this of our subtropical jet. Okay, here's what's going on right now, and this little stream right here looks like it's our subtropical jet. It's not. It's a cold front. The issue moving forward is, notice the absence of a jet stream. You've got some weather moving from west to east down there in the south. You've got weather moving from west to east, but that's because that's what our weather, that's what our clouds do. That's what our moisture does. That's what our weather does in the northern hemisphere. But there's no jet. Do you see the jet up to the north? You see all that craziness happening up to the north there? That's our polar jet. This is what's bringing all of the moisture. This is what's pulling in that moisture off of our Pacific Northwest atmospheric river as well. We need that. We need that to activate down in the south. And taking a look at our European weeklies, if we were to go into, and this is how I should have shown you it in the first place. Let's see if it'll show me it here. We'll go into, I'll just go into European. There's our jet. There's what's supplying all of our moisture up to the north. Again, there's no jet. We have no jet down here to the south. There's nothing that's supplying. There's nothing that's going to supply moisture to the southeast. While all this cold air is diving in, and bringing with it moisture to the north, there's nothing that's pulling in moisture to the south to battle that dry air. But what happens here? We need something like this to happen. This is briefly here. You start to see a subtropical jet trying to activate here. I don't think this holds on. Moving into January, we could get a nice subtropical jet activate. Look at December 22nd. What's happening down here? Now you have moisture feeding into cold air. There's your subpolar jet. Cold air, there's your moisture feeding into the jet. In the beginning of January, and I saw someone talking about this online, and he made a really good point, so I'm going to show you. Look at our ocean analysis. Okay. Look at our ocean analysis and what's happening right here at our 180 longitude. You see this warmth? If this continues to heat and we start to get our central Pacific, which is our Nino 3.4 region, warming up, you're going to suddenly get a subtropical jet activated. And if we can continue this push of cold air from the north, which it's gonna continue for quite a while. It's a La Nina year. We're still gonna be in a La Nina moving into January. Now you have a subtropical jet activated with your subpolar jet. So the issue, it's a little bit frustrating, but I'm glad the east is getting all this cold air, the southeast and the mid-Atlantic, but you still need a little bit of your luck, a little bit of luck because of the absence of moisture. Our subtropical jet tries to kick on in a few days. It tries to kick on right before Christmas. If it does kick on and hold right before Christmas, that's a big snowstorm waiting to happen for the southeast and the mid-Atlantic right before Christmas, which you could see kind of there at the end of this run. This is the 22nd. This is our subtropical jet trying to kick on and throw moisture into a bunch of cold air sinking into the east. This is a great setup if you want snow out here. So, a little too far out. I'm not going to try to pretend, that I know who's going to get snow right before Christmas. But it's a pretty decent setup at the end of December into the beginning of January to get a lot more moisture feed into this region. And, last but not least, and I'll get back to taking questions. And, by the way, if we go to 3 to 4 weeks out, look what happens as we move from 8 to 14 days to 3 to 4 weeks. Suddenly, all that dry air is gone. And now we have moisture that can feed through this area. That's 100% because the Climate Prediction Center sees our subtropical jet trying to activate through this region. End of December. Cross your fingers it happens before Christmas, southeast and up the East Coast if you want that white Christmas chance. All right. We just want hope in Florida. Thanks, B. Appreciate you, Nancy. Sprinkler. Hi, Bear. I spent 3.5 hours shoveling after my snow blower broke. We getting more snow in Chicago soon? Potentially. Our 12Z is loading in here. This could be a couple more inches for Chicago when Monday night into Tuesday morning. We'll see. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be much. The Euro's trying to shift this snowstorm a little bit farther down to the south here, which may end up putting a tiny bit down into Chicago. It looks like mostly rain and mixing for Chicago, though. But, you know, all of our moisture is going to be up here in the northern tier states. All of our cold air, the coldest air is going to be up here too, though. So you're going to have some dry pockets. I don't see any major snowstorm for Chicago in the next 7 to 10 days. Portland, Oregon. Portland, Oregon. Well, it looks wet. It looks wet. It looks wet. But it looks warm. It looks warm. And then maybe you get a break. So lots of rain. Expect lots of rainfall, not a lot of snow. No snow. Except for the mountains. The mountains, you'll probably get some good snow. Minneapolis this week. I'll answer that. Here's the latest from the Euro. Here's the latest from the Euro. We'll just push out to next Saturday. Or next Sunday. Let's push out 7 days. You see this big pocket of pink? 9 to 12 inches of snow. There's a chance that this actually pushes south. The GFS sees it pushing south, so 3 inches over the next week, another 3 inches into Minneapolis. We've already had about 9 inches fall. Possible, could be more. On the high end, we end up with another 8 inches of snow this week. On the low end, I say we end up with another 2 inches of snow this week in Minneapolis. But it's going to snow, and the temperatures are the real story. Don't worry, these are anomalies. These are anomalies. But here are our temperature anomalies next weekend. 30 degrees below average. You guys want to know what that feels like is? Negative 26 degrees, negative 28 degrees in Minneapolis. And then Sunday it actually warms up a lot. Sunday it warms up a lot. We're at negative 12. Negative 12. Nice warm day compared to Saturday. Oh, yeah, by the way, here's the updated Euro on our cold air, guys. Here's the updated Euro on our cold air. Here's Saturday. We're seeing, these are our feels like temperatures. Could get down into the negatives. Feels like into St. Louis, Indianapolis, potentially Louisville, Cincinnati, pretty far south. Omaha could have a casual 10 degrees below average. Feels like temperature. Of course, I said Minneapolis, maybe negative 25 to negative 30 degrees. Milwaukee, Chicago, negative 15 to negative 20 degrees feels like. And then pushing into Sunday, a lot of this cold air even transfers farther out east. Let me go east. There you go. We're getting down into the feels like into the 20s, mid 20s down there in Atlanta. Now, this cold air isn't going to want to shift as far south on the European. Let's go to our actual temperatures for Saturday. Here we go for Saturday. Getting down about 28 degrees near Atlanta, Georgia. 25 degrees into Charlotte. Into the 20s, into the teens, up and down the East Coast, or negative actual temperatures. Saturday and Sunday from Chicago to Minneapolis. Trying to get negative down there into potentially Indianapolis. And then more cold air right behind it, as you can see. What is the snowfall looking like for Williamsburg area of Virginia tomorrow? Williamsburg. I'll have to look it up. What's the snowfall looking like? So what you're swing is the east and south Has all the pieces besides moisture. Yeah, 100%. Snowfall. But we just kind of looked at it. Taking a look at the national blend. Winter-wise. It's going to get tough to get any snow out there near the water, but if you get lucky, I think you could get an inch out there. You could get maybe an inch out there. Williamsburg. It's going to start turning into rain as you get closer to the coast. Let's go back to the U.S. North New Jersey, going to be tough to see any snow. Let's take a look at what our latest Euro's seeing out here. Is it giving any love? Is it shifting any snow? It's trying to put less of a pocket out there. Still really screwing the Mid-Atlantic. I still expect we're going to get some snow out there in the Mid-Atlantic here, approaching Christmas. But there's your hole. There's your hole. Euro does want to give Northern Jersey a little bit of snow out here over the next 10 days. You get actually, yeah, here's the next 10 days here. Can you discuss the bigger patterns of cause of these patterns? Polar vortex, jet stream, Rossby waves. Yeah, I spend so much time talking about that stuff in my videos. I kind of don't like talking about it in live streams. Well, I kind of do. It just gets old, I guess, because it's the only thing I like talking about. I actually like climatology way more than I like this stuff. It's like I don't even know where to begin with that. We had a polar vortex break end of November, earliest one in recorded history since satellite era, or early 1960s. Your coldest air from a polar vortex, stratospheric polar vortex breakdown. Typically takes about, we'll say 2 to 3 weeks. So to enter the States, which is what's happening, which is why next weekend, about 2 to 3 weeks after our stratospheric polar vortex breakdown, the end of December, that's why we're getting the coldest air. Extremely bitter Arctic air. Record-shattering air potentially next weekend because of that breakdown. We see another possible polar vortex split or stretch happening right here. Here's our higher heights in the Arctic as we get into mid-December. So expected beginning of January to potentially be, expect some record-breaking cold to potentially return in the beginning of January. I'm not, well, record-breaking low, like averages, below average air, because it's always cold in January, but below, even colder than it's supposed to be. There are things that cause these stratospheric, these SSWE, sudden stratospheric warm-ups. Big part of it, well, there's a lot. Some of the stuff I like to look at is how ahead is our snowpack out here in Siberia. What happens is you get an above average snowpack here in Siberia, lots of sunlight reflecting off the surface. You get a cold core high that sets up early. That begins to propagate heat, propagate your planetary waves up into a spinning polar jet, and that can disrupt the motion and the speed of the jet and slow it down. Where was it? Told you we brought it. That's funny. Same thing can happen out here if you have above average ice and our seas are, oh my gosh, I'm forgetting the name of this sea here. But if you have above average ice here in this region, you start to get a high pressure buildup over Eurasia. And that can also lead to these planetary waves forcing up into our polar jet, and our polar jet beginning to become disrupted, slow, stretching. So a big thing you look at in climatology moving into winter is what's our snowpack and ice pack look like up here. Because that can, one, that allows for the colder air to transfer down into the U.S. much easier early winter. Two, if your snowpack is going crazy, like it was kind of in the beginning of this year, going crazy up here in Siberia, you can bet you're going to start to get a big high pressure build up here, and it's going to start to push on on our stratospheric polar vortex. And then this bad boy is really unstable as we get into December and January. This tends to happen a lot more in La Nina years. Why? Because our subtropical polar jet weakens because the waters along the equatorial Pacific and eastern Pacific are colder. Colder waters, cooler waters. The jet stream you're not getting as many thunderstorms developing. Your jet stream weakens, and your jet stream begins to wobble and begins to force energy, or the energy begins to move north. And now you have a more variable active jet stream up here to the north, and that can lead to a higher snowpack. That can lead to a more, we'll call it wobbly tropospheric polar jet that freezes your water up here quicker, that drops more snow up here quicker, and now suddenly you have more opportunities for SSWE, sudden stratospheric warming events, polar vortex breakdowns. La Ninas are very aggressive and mean to our stratospheric polar vortex. The records, when you see record snowfall, a lot of our all-time record snowfall and record colds are in La Nina years, but El Nino years actually bring a little bit more cold and a little bit more moisture to the south, so you have a better chance for snow in the south because of that. But typically, you're not going to see as many records broken in an El Nino year because you're going to have a much stronger stratospheric and tropospheric polar vortex. Your coldest air on the planet in the northern hemisphere. We win our air in the northern hemisphere. The North Pole air is much colder than the South Pole air. That has to do with how much land we have in the northern hemisphere. Land cools quicker than water. There's too much water in the southern hemisphere. The South Pole air is wimpy compared to the North Pole air. But that's why we have the craziest weather up here in the northern hemisphere, and you don't hear much about extreme weather in the southern hemisphere. All right. Ooh, let me pin that. When is Nebraska's next shot at snow? You got a lot of opportunities ahead here for snow. Depends what, I mean, there you go. A little chance for some flurries, maybe an inch or two. Getting into Wednesday night, Thursday. We'll see. Gonna be a little warm. Get a little bit of a warm up there. Another opportunity here. We'll see if we get a little bit of snow flying in here. This looks like if you get lucky, you could see 2 or 3 inches this week. If you get unlucky, you're just going to see a dusting from this over the next 7 days in Nebraska. I do believe this brief warm-up is coming, but I think this cold air drops right in behind it as well. I believe at least what the Euro is saying up through the next 10 days. I don't think we're actually going to get this warm out here, though, I would say. I don't think we're going to get that warm out there. I think this jet's going to be a little bit more zonal. We're not going to see like super, super hot temperatures up here like this is showing right here. This would be a recipe for some severe weather, though. This would be a recipe for a big severe weather outbreak right here. Later, Emmanuel. I'm seeing conflicting reports for Roanoke, Virginia areas for snow tomorrow. Yeah, it's a really, really hard storm. It's an extremely hard storm to predict. One of the hardest you can predict because the low pressure is developing from the cold air moving off the Appalachian Mountains. And mountain weather does whatever the heck it wants. It does not matter. All of our surface maps, what we're looking at right here is a surface map. It assumes we're all at 1,000 millibars. Guess what? The mountains aren't at 1,000 millibars. They're much lower pressure than us. It doesn't show elevation. So our surface maps have a hard time with predicting what's going to happen with the system that's a low pressure being produced off of elevation, which is what's happening here, forcing a cold air forcing against the mountains. Warm air forcing against the mountains, mixing with cold air. So right now, where's Roanoke? Why can't I find Roanoke? I know we're... Am I being stupid? Yeah, there it is. Well, I don't know why it's right here. Why isn't it showing Roanoke on the map? Why isn't it showing it? Is this it? There it is. I don't know why it's not showing it. Like, it's a tiny city. I feel like Roanoke isn't that small of a city. All right. Right now, National Weather Service is predicting an inch. On the high end, you could probably get like 6 inches of snow. Yeah, and that's exactly what they see. About 6 inches of snow on the high end. It's super variable. It really depends. This system is forming. This system is only forming because the mountains are there. Can I tell you if Pittsburgh, PA will have a white Christmas? I think they will. Yeah, I'll just tell you that. I think they will. I think they're in the right area to have it. Mm-hmm. No problem, Candace. Yeah. Storms that form off the mountains like this are like... Who knows? I'd be shocked if you guys didn't get some accumulating snow, though. I'd be shocked if you guys didn't at least get an inch over accumulation. Or over an inch of accumulation. That would really surprise me. Oh, shush, B. I know. It's my third one today. I need to stop. Lincoln, Nebraska, White Christmas. So, you guys are looking pretty decent here over the next week. 10 days, up towards the 17th, 18th of December. But then, the Climate Prediction Center wants to put us into kind of a zonal flow. Where, and I showed you this from our temperature maps, where they want it kind of warmer down here, above average, and then below average. So it's going to be really close for Lincoln. It's going to be really close for Lincoln, Nebraska. If you get caught on the south side, which I actually think we're still going to be in this flow, but I'm talking about what the Climate Prediction Center thinks right now. If you get caught on the south side of that jet, you're going to melt your snow right before Christmas. If the jet's here and you get caught on the north side, you're going to be just fine. You're probably going to get snow piling up leading into Christmas. Battleground. Whichever way this jet goes, even if it goes the way I think, and we have it pushing through here, this is a winter battleground area. If the jet goes through here, this is a winter battleground area. Nebraska is a super tough call. I'd say eastern Nebraska has a much better chance of seeing a white Christmas than anywhere out here, though. Than anywhere west of this line. You have a much better chance of seeing a white Christmas out here. So Lincoln, Omaha. Well, look, these are the small ones, though. Look, see, these are the tiny ones. These are the tiny ones, all right? I used to drink 2,000 milligrams of caffeine a day. Now I drink like 300. So I've pretty much completely stopped altogether in my head. 80 milligrams. 3 of these is 240 milligrams of caffeine. You're allowed to drink up to 400 milligrams of caffeine a day and be safe. So I'm still good. Yeah, that's the problem. I don't really feel... I know. I don't really feel them. Oh yeah, I used to drink like 2,000 milligrams of caffeine a day. Easily. It was so bad. I was getting all sorts of heart palpitations and panic attacks. But I was just very tired all the time. You know. 2 little kids. This is a expected snowfall over the next 72 hours from the National Weather Service. This is the high end totals. This is if you get lucky, you get a good snow ratio. You get under a snow band, this is where you could see some good snow over the next 72 hours. Yellow to orange is 6 to 9 inches. Light blue to dark blue is anywhere from 1 to 5 inches. Yeah. It should be. Are the chances still the same for 1 to 2 nor'easters this winter? 100%. 100%. I was... Excuse me. Yeah, my son drinks them too. I'm kidding, guys. He does not drink them. He just likes to get them for me. What are you doing? No, Fisher, we don't drink those. Put it back. Thank you. I have a whole nother box right here. It just didn't fit, guys. And for anyone who thinks I'm addicted, my cousin works for Red Bull. She's like the head of, or she's a social media manager for Red Bull or something like that. And so I just get sent like 100 free Red Bulls a month. I just tell her what flavors I want and they just show up at my door. So I'm not going to get free Red Bull. That's ridiculous. You know, I could always give it to like poor kids or something if I stop drinking it. I'll still get it. You know what I mean? That sounded mean. You guys know what I mean. Like, you guys know what I mean. Poor kids like Red Bull too, okay? That sounded so mean. Yeah, like the less fortunate. Future rainfall for southern Illinois. Sure, let's take a look at that. Well, here, precipitation-wise. Next 6 to 10 days. Woo! You guys are dry. You've never tried Red Bull? Are you joking? Oh my gosh. You guys are dry. 8 to 14 days, pretty dry. As we get towards the end of December, and this is what I'm talking about. Man, if this confirms from the Climate Prediction Center, talk about the potential for a white Christmas out here. This would be fantastic. Oh, I was talking about nor'easters earlier, and I didn't get to finish. If the Climate Prediction Center is correct here, and we suddenly get a big burst of what is going on, and we suddenly get a big burst of moisture out here at the end of December, where the cold air will still be here. Yeah, white Christmas. I was talking about nor'easters. I still have a pretty good feeling about a nor'easter before December's over. But taking a look at how we expect our subpolar jet to activate here at the end of December, maybe we get one early January. I'm still confident we're gonna get one in December. Whatever. I'm gonna die on that hill. Dre. Yeah. Look at you guys. It looks like a little head, doesn't it? Here's the eyes. Look, it's like E.T. Snow, New Jersey, it's going to be tough. Going to be tough in the short range. I don't think it's going to be so tough in the mid to long range. All right, let's do this really quickly. I got some stuff I got to get done today, but let's do this really quickly. Let's do this really quickly. Let's just compare our ensembles really quickly. 12Z ensembles loading actually. So we'll just do this. Expected snowfall over the next 2 weeks. Something like this, guys. I know everyone in the Mid-Atlantic is banging their head against a wall. I think it's much better to have snow surrounding you like this in a distant snow forecast than to have it on top of you, because snowstorms always shift. So this could shift south, this could shift north. Although this is in the short term, actually, that one down south. GFS, there it is. This is just brutal. Brutal for the coast here. European AI, here it is. Oh my gosh, the AI sees it too. Holy crap. The Mid-Atlantic and New England coast. Spire Basic. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. I need to make an X post about this. That's crazy. Again, though, being in the snow, 7+ 10, showing snow 7+ days out for you, it's not always a good thing. How about IPN? I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Inner New England. Here's the latest Euro for Inner New England. Some good snow. Some okay snow in the short term here. Could have a nice big snowstorm though. Let's push out here. Let's go to our future reflectivity. This could be really, really nice. This could be really, really nice. Wednesday afternoon into Thursday out there for Inner New England. Right there. And then you have a secondary shot of some good snow for New England. Not really out towards the coast, but this upcoming weekend. All right, guys. All right, gotta get off. Is today Sunday? I thought it was Saturday. Yeah. All right, well, I did post a video today talking about a lot of this stuff, talking about the cold air expectations moving forward, talking about the snowfall moving forward, talking about a lot of the questions you guys probably have. So if you want to check that out. Also, if you want to join the Discord, we're in there talking every day. Best weather Discord there is. Promise. Link to my Discord's in the description of every single one of my YouTube videos and YouTube lives, guys. It is. And updates are in there every single day. Everything from wildfire updates to earthquake updates to volcano updates to severe weather updates to snowfall updates, short-range snowfall, long-range snowfall, temperature, everything. Precipitation outlooks, temperature outlooks, short-term temperature, anomalies, feels like temperatures. Everything is in there. Everything is in there. We got a great team in there. And, yeah, it's a good time if you want to join the Discord. It is free. It's free until I hit 500 people in there, which we'll see. We're halfway there. And then it'll be cheap. But if you get in before I hit 500 people, you're just free forever because it is what it is. Mods, I appreciate you guys. Let's hop in a meeting here in a little bit and talk about some stuff. Appreciate anyone who followed. Appreciate the new follows, the new subs. Thank you guys. Anyone who donated, anyone just who is in here helping the algorithm out. You guys are awesome. Enjoy your day. If there's one thing for sure that you can take away from this, here's what I want you to take away from this. What's the biggest news of the week in weather? This, okay? This. Expect record-breaking temperatures out east and record-breaking temperatures out west. I'm guessing you can tell which types of records are going to be broken out here. I'm going to give you a hint. And which type of records are going to be broken out here. The majority of the records out here are going to be broken this weekend. Unbelievable cold is on the way. And it is from our stratospheric polar vortex breakdown we had in late November. Everyone enjoy your day. I'll be back tomorrow. Posting another video like I do every day and going live. See you guys.